All right, so we're here at LeWeb08 with Marc Canter of Broadband Mechanics.
Wie geht's?
Wie geht's?
Alles klar.
So you were just moderating a panel with all the biggest people in the industry, like all the big companies, and then is it chaos? So what's going on?
Yes, we are in chaos right now, and we need to be able to educate and explain to people the various open technologies and how all the different pieces of the puzzle can interconnect together.
Yeah? So do you think somebody's going to find a solution or already found it or something? Or?
Well, I have a solution.
You have a solution?
Yes, I wrote a book called How to Build the Open Mesh.
Oh, yeah?
And so it's a treatise. It's like Computer Lib, which was the book that Ted Nelson wrote in 1972. So it's a visionary piece of how, if we have Google and Microsoft and all these platforms, how we can interconnect them together. And you know, maybe the U.S. government is part of it, or Singapore government, or places all around the world will all want. The New York Times, BBC have decided they don't want to be locked into Microsoft or Google. They will have their own platform. So we'll have many different platforms.
But they all work together?
Yes, that is the vision of the Open Mesh, yes.
So when did you publish this book?
I'm still working on it. It's available on Blurb.
Oh, yeah?
You know Blurb?
What does that mean?
Zoom in on this. So Blurb is a...
This?
Yeah. This is an on-demand publisher. So you go to Blurb and you can buy just one copy.
Cool. Yeah. And it's always upgraded.
Yes, and so as the information changes, I have a wiki. So I'll update the wiki, I will update the book.
Whoa.
I have some videos. I did a speech in Rotterdam where I had the speech, and I will be talking about this over the next few years.
That sounds really cool. I mean, so you get the special version of the books, like version 2 point something.
Exactly.
That's cool. Yeah. So what do you think Obama should do, like right now?
Well, it's very exciting with the notion of what they call the stimulus package. You know, if they're going to give $500 million to the banks, they might as well give $1 trillion to the people to create new jobs. And this is what FDR did in the 1930s. Okay? So the theory here is that we will build out our infrastructure, we will help health, we will create green jobs, and ideally what would happen is that the government would provide a basic kind of software. I call this software digital lifestyle aggregator. Sort of like iGoogle or NetVibes or a dashboard where every user can integrate their own set of features in. But of course, from a government point of view, pay my taxes, bills, information. From a health point of view, from a school point of view, this kind of software should be provided to every citizen. You see?
The government should work on it?
Yes.
The MIT or something? Or who should do it?
I'll do it.
You'll do it?
Yeah. But we'll do it in cooperation with Google and Microsoft and Yahoo and everyone, right? And we will create open standards. So maybe we have 10 different implementations. The blue version, the red version, the green version. See, once you have open standards, everyone can interconnect together. So this is called RSS. You know about RSS? This is an example of how you can have multiple vendors all using the same technology. And each one does their own variant and version.
So compared to what you would like to see in 5 years, where do you think we are now, like Facebook and all that? Is that, I mean, do you think it will make much more sense what we will have? It should make much more sense?
Facebook is a very good model for a great integrated experience. Now, Facebook is a giant centralized social network, right? And we are going from the world of centralized networks to niche vertical networks. And the human is not going to choose one or the other. They're going to be on Facebook, but they like chocolate and reggae and whatever, and so they will be a member of many different kind of networks. And so that in a distributed way, we want to interconnect them together. Now, the standards can do that. And then one of those networks will be the government network, and one of them will be your school network, or your artist network, or your local sports network, or your church, or whatever. And each of these networks will interconnect together.
And then you can just make your own algorithm and take all that data and do the output that you think you have. Maybe if Google thinks they have a better algorithm to give recommendations.
Exactly. Recommendations is an example of something where there probably won't ever. We will be working on that for a long time, right? Or something what we call an agent, something that's smart. Okay, but the base level stuff, media gallery, groups, personal page, widget, this is all standard stuff, and the government can help go in there. Now, the key thing the government also needs to do, because you know the telcos have all this bandwidth, and they only give us a little bit of bandwidth, and they're trying to keep most of it for themselves, to what we say bifurcate, to break up the internet into the free internet and the paid internet. Okay? Now, the government can come in and say, well, we demand this internet, right? So we can eventually have 3 or 5 different internets, right?
Oh.
The government one, the military one, the free one, the paid one. You know, because there's a lot of fiber there. Right? There's plenty of bandwidth to go around.
So it should be free. It should be free to get fiber and wireless 700 megahertz internet. There should be a free version of that. Is that what you're saying?
Well, remember, the internet is free, right? I mean, it was paid for by ARPANET, right? Where you pay is where the internet comes and hits the human.
Yeah.
Currently, we use telcos. We use what we call ISPs to do that, right? If you could wire that up to Wi-Fi or WiMAX, okay? If you could wire it up to schools and hospitals, you could wire it up on the street corner, okay?
Yeah.
Then there's still a little bit of money transacted, but as opposed to the telcos serving up movies and charging expensive.
Do you think it's possible that when Bush arrived in office, he kind of slowed the whole internet down, and now that Obama is back, maybe something big is going to happen?
I don't think it had to do with the internet. It more had to do with fascism, you see? And they made a deal. Cheney, you know this guy Cheney?
Yeah.
Okay? So when they first came into office, they had secret meetings with all the energy companies, right? And everybody asked, so what were you doing in these meetings? And they never would reveal. All of a sudden, oil goes from 20 to 100. All of a sudden, we have a war. All of a sudden, all of Bush's friends are becoming billionaires. This is not a coincidence.
Yeah.
Okay? So this is much more than just the internet. Bush put fascists into the government, into the judges. They infiltrated things. They took the information on greenhouse gases and they lied. I mean, this is a systematic raping and pillaging of our country. So I would come to Europe and I would apologize for being an American. And now I could be proud to be an American.
All right. So if Obama or if somebody fixes this system right now, do you think that maybe within the next 4 years it'll be the internet will be so good that there will never be a Republican in power again? Or
no, because the Republicans will lie and steal the elections again, right?
Okay.
So it's hard to say the perfect world, but usually there's cycles.
Okay. But thanks.
Okay.